Let's continue on with some examples. So in this case, we're going to go from this alkyne to this bromide, right? So the first question we want to ask is, did the number of carbons change? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer here is no, the number of carbons did not change. The number 2 question we want to ask is, did our functional groups change or move? And in this case, yes, they did change, right? We went from an alkyne to an alkane with 2 bromines, but they didn't move, right? The bromines and the alkyne are between carbons 2 and 3, and they're still between carbons 2 and 3. And so we can think about how can we go from an alkyne to an alkane with 2 bromines. So remember that we learned how to go from an alkyne to an alkene. And from alkenes, we can add Br2 to add our 2 bromines. Again, there are multiple ways to do it. So maybe you can go add Br2s first and then go to an alkane. That may also work as well. Just make sure that you check your stereochemistry and whatnot. And so the third question we want to ask is the regio/stereochemistry. Here we can see that our problem wants one specific enantiomer. Well, I'll add this plus En, right? So we will have some specificity here, right? We'll only get some enantiomers. And so if we're thinking about adding Br2, we have to remember that these two should be adding anti to one another, anti-addition. Whereas the way this is drawn, currently they are syn with one another. And so this obviously came from some kind of alkene with some Br2, but this would have been anti-addition. And so we need to go ahead and rotate this molecule to set the bromines anti to one another. So the left one we didn't move at all. The right one we rotated, which makes this one a wedge right here. And so we can see here our 2 methyls are on the same side. And so that means that they are cis with one another in the alkene. So we know that this alkene, if we add Br2 to it, we'll get the cis, or we'll get the anti-addition of Br2, and we'll get the product that we want. And then finally, we can think about how can we go from this alkyne to this alkene. We see that the alkyne or alkene here is cis. And so how do we do that? Well, we do make the cis alkene through addition of H2 and Lindlar's catalyst. So go ahead, maybe on your own, figure out another synthetic route to go, or to figure out to synthesize this product.